Star Trek has revealed a bittersweet ending for the Kelvin universe's Captain Kirk, one that brings his story full circle. Captain Benjamin Sisko and the crew of the Theseus are traveling through the Star Trek multiverse in a bid to save it from destruction at Law's hands, and issue number 26 takes them to the Kelvin universe. The two captains meet, but only one walks away. Star Trek number 26 is written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly and drawn by Angel Hernandez. Despite the efforts of both the Kelvin Enterprise and the Theseus, Law's wave of destruction reaches them. As the Kelvin universe begins to wink out of existence, Kirk offers to hold the line in order to let the Theseus escape. Sisko reluctantly agrees, calling Kirk and his crew heroes. A vision of Kirk's late father then appears to him, and while Kirk's father's face is obscured, it is clear he is proud, realizing that his heroic nature rubbed off on his son. The Captain Kirk of Star Trek's Kelvin timeline had a new mission. Star Trek's Kelvin universe was designed for new fans. In the mid-2000s, Paramount Pictures decided on a from-the-ground-up reimagining of Star Trek, and this would come to be known as the Kelvin universe, or Kelvin timeline. The Kelvin universe featured sleeker ship designs and younger actors in the established roles of Kirk and Spock. It was created when a renegade Romulan ship traveled back to the early 23rd century, attacking the Federation starship Kelvin, creating a point of divergence. In this new timeline, Kirk's father, George, died saving the Kelvin's crew from perishing at the hands of the Romulan vessel. The attack on the Kelvin caused not only the history of the Star Trek universe to take a slightly different path, but Kirk's life as well. While Prime Kirk's family life, particularly his relationship with his dad, has not been explored on screen, Kelvin Kirk's was detailed in 2009 Star Trek. Without a strong father figure, Kelvin Kirk grew up without focus, stealing cars and getting into barroom brawls. Kelvin Kirk's mother remarried, but son and stepfather often clashed. Non-canon sources have suggested Prime Kirk had a rough-and-tumble childhood, but not like that of his Kelvin counterpart. Both Prime and Kelvin Captain Kirk were heroes and their deaths prove it. Both Captain Kirks did not die alone, as they thought they would. Despite the differences in how their lives played out, both Prime and Kelvin Kirk die as heroes. In 1994's Star Trek, Generations, Captain Kirk, after being stuck in an extra-dimensional limbo for roughly 90 years, helps Jean-Luc Picard take down Dr. Soren, the film's villain. During the fight, Soren kills Kirk, but not before Kirk deals Soren's plan a setback. Kelvin Kirk buys Captain Sisko and the Theseus valuable time to escape, and potentially stop Law and save the multiverse. It is now on Sisko to ensure the Kelvin universe did not perish in vain. Prime Kirk believed he would die alone, even saying it occasionally, but that did not come to pass, nor did it happen to Kelvin Kirk either. Captain Picard was witness to Prime Kirk's sacrifice and even buried him later. Kelvin Kirk goes out with his crew and a vision of his father. While Prime Kirk may not have realized just how many lives he was saving, he knew he had died a hero. A different kind of uncertainty hangs over Kelvin Kirk's sacrifice, one contingent on Sisko avenging him. The legacy of the Kelvin Kirks is a big one. Captain Sisko must carry on Kelvin Kirk's legacy. Captain Kirk likes sabotage. The heroic legacy of Kelvin Kirk's father was enormous, saving hundreds of lives, and it would follow his son as well. When Kirk was at arguably his lowest point, Captain Pike invoked George's legacy in a bid to motivate him into joining Starfleet. Something Pike said must have resonated, because not only did Kirk join Starfleet, he rose through the ranks as quickly as anyone ever had before. George Kirk's legacy inspired his son, who would go on to save countless lives himself over the years. With the Kelvin timeline seeming destruction, this legacy comes full circle. It now falls on Captain Sisko and the crew of the Theseus to keep Kelvin Kirk's legacy alive, and honor his sacrifice. Sisko acknowledged that Kirk and the Kelvin Enterprise were heroes, and any mission logs will note this. Kelvin Kirk's sacrifice has strengthened Sisko's resolve to stop Law and restore the multiverse. This conflict will play out in the forthcoming The Law War, in which the android recreates reality in his own image. While IDW has not revealed if the Kelvin crew will play a role in the Law War, their heroic legacy will inspire Sisko. Will Captain Kirk remember his sacrifice to save the Star Trek universe? Regardless, Kelvin Kirk's sacrifice ensured countless numbers would live. Star Trek Prime Kelvin 2. It is inevitable that the Star Trek multiverse, including the Kelvin universe, will be restored, allowing Sisko to perhaps one day return to it and let Kirk know about his sacrifice. If the Kelvin universe is put back together, it is possible that Kirk may not remember sacrificing himself at all. Even if he does not, Kirk is still a Starfleet hero, and his legacy will live on, and his bittersweet ending proves this.